episode of Multiplayer. I just got the shit scared out of me, and my name is Guillermo Dorado, your host. And today with me are my co-hosts, Zach Matzganis.
What up?
The Scarer.
How dare you mock me last week?
I had to take your place.
To be fair, he did a spot-on impression.
It was pretty good. I was like, oh my god, was that on that episode?
Yeah.
Resident
Resident imitator, we have our other co-host, Javier Ortiz.
At your service.
You wanna even us up and do the imitation you got for me?
Hold on.
Come on.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Multiplayer.
This is pretty goddamn good.
I am your host, Guillermo.
You just do the whole episode as an invitation. I'll just sit back.
Wow.
Yeah. Javier Ortiz. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, because you're probably listening to our podcast right now. That is right, we have it on iTunes and Google Play, but if you didn't know this already, we also offer this in a visual format on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/multiplayer. Boom, 2 places at once, podcast and YouTube channel. Yeah, we give it to you both ways.
Whoa.
You asked for it.
We give it to you both ways.
Also, guys, we do have a Patreon page as well. It would be great if you could go over and check our page out, because we do offer some incentives to our Patreon members, exactly. We give exclusive offers, which is 2 videos a month, but we release those every other Friday on Patreon, and then a week later for the masses on YouTube and our podcast, on our podcast service as well. Because we understand if you guys aren't necessarily convinced just yet to help us donate, make this show better and better, well, you can always enjoy our free content. So there it is. But we do give a special thanks to our Patreon members because they are super sweet. So
They're awesome.
They are. They're sexy.
now here's the deal. I rushed through that because we have so much to talk about today.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. There's way too much to talk about.
There's so many things. There's so many. So I mean, like, just to kind of give a quick overview, we've got some new things that are kind of happening that were a secret for a little bit on the Switch with their new patch. We're gonna talk about that in a minute, and then we're gonna go into BlizzCon and talk about Paris Games Week because, my God, a cornucopia of information, if I could say so at least. But before we do any of that, we have to talk to Mr. Zach Matzganis because he finally is back with us.
Yeah, sorry.
From playing Super Mario Odyssey, which I assume is only like just 24/7. Have you showered?
I haven't had time for. Gosh, even Mario, I've hardly had time for. It's just work. It's just.
Don't make me look like a liar on this show.
You're a liar. You're a filthy liar.
Well,
you're a gross man.
I know
You're gross.
That just gets like personal. You got a dumb chin. So okay, but you did want okay, that game we all really love, right? And last week we had to talk about it because it had just released and we were like hot off of just playing it literally right before the show. And we know that you have a lot of opinions, so I kind of wanted to give you the floor to talk a little bit about your experience.
Yeah, so I wanted to speak about it a little bit because I've probably played about half the game.
Wait, well, I guess you can't say which kingdom you are, but how many kingdoms in? Is that half? Is that 5?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
It's like past New Donk City, past what's the one right after?
Spoilers, man. No
what am I in?
That's what we can't
Everybody
disclose.
knows of New Donk City.
You're past
but
New Donk City.
Like
Yeah, okay.
and I've probably gotten 200 plus moons, probably more.
Oh, nice! Wow,
say.
that early. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to just collect everything. I'm kind of like that. But
You can't though.
But anyways,
you cannot. You gotta keep going. That game does not let you do it.
I know. So, I've heard nothing but praise for this game, and it deserves all that praise. But I've been thinking about this game a lot lately, and I think I just gotta say it. I think, and you touched on it a little bit last week. You jerk. These are my thoughts, my opinions.
I had to
You
share.
just came back angry onto the show.
Not my fault. You
What
were
happens when
there.
you're not here?
Talk about how Halo sucks.
Yeah.
So, I've been thinking about it, and, I think Breath of the Wild has kind of ruined Mario Odyssey for me.
Okay, bold statement.
Yeah.
Why?
And not to say, like, Mario Odyssey is an awesome game, and I'm loving it.
We know that you are a huge fan of Mario. There's no talking about it. I mean, look at this shit. So
Yeah, I mean, it's the best Mario game since 64, for sure. Well, actually, no, I take that back, because I love the Galaxy games.
Yeah.
So this is definitely the best Mario game since Galaxy and Galaxy 2.
All right, but like, what do you mean?
anyways,
But yeah, in terms of Zelda.
So I just playing this game, there's some stuff in it that it's like I wish that I could take Mario and his little skill sets and his jumps and his moves and everything and just take it into Breath of the Wild's world. It's
you mean like basically a whole connected?
Yeah, just like a huge sandbox for Mario to explore. Because right now it's broken up into these kingdoms, and it's like each kingdom's like it's packed with stuff to do, but they're all kind of small when you really think about it.
Yeah,
At
they
least
are.
in the first half of the game. I can't speak for the second half,
They get a little bit bigger. They're, like the Luncheon Kingdom specifically is pretty big, but it's still like in that kind of misleading big. It's like it's elusively big because or elusively small but seemingly big.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of how all the worlds are. Where it's like New Donk City, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of verticality.
Exactly.
But there's that issue where you're running around, you're exploring, and you just want to keep going and going, and then. Especially New Donk City, where it's like suddenly you're like looking over the edge, and it's like, what type of scary world is this? Where you have this city, and then there's just these infinite gaps of just like nothingness. And it's like, what a terrifying place to live.
For anybody who has not played the game, New Donk City is a kingdom that's basically like based off of Manhattan. Yeah. But the entire like city itself, like there is a limit to how far the city stretches out, and it just drops off into this like basically infinite abyss. Yeah. Just like cloudy abyss. And it's like, you're right. When I first saw that, because like there are taxis parked in front, like at the street where it just drops off and it says stop, and like there's like construction signs, but it's like that kind of took me out of the world. I was like, where are we? You know, like it's just like some island.
And obviously, Mario games have always kind of been like that, where it's like, oh, where are you? Well, I guess the Mushroom Kingdom or something close to it. What universe is that in? I don't know. But it's just one of those things. Like, I wish all those worlds, those kingdoms, were connected into just one huge open sandbox where I could just run from, New Donk City to the Luncheon Kingdom, and there's like, somewhere to go in between. Just give me more to explore and more to kind of do. Let me just climb up a mountain and jump off at that and use his hat as a parachute. I'm just kidding. That is just but
and then we want to look for Triforce things, or at least something that's like triangle shaped. And
but even like
a guy named Ganon.
And even things like the Power Moons. It's like I enjoy collecting stuff, but it's like I don't have as much fun collecting those as even like the Korok seeds. Because those you just kind of stumble onto, and it's like, oh, cool, and you just like you see a little puzzle and you do it, and it's like, and that's it. But it's like this, it's like you're kind of forced into kind of collecting a bunch of stuff that's either out in the open in just like a very easy spot, or it's just in a weird place you might.
Which is one of the things that we had talked about. Like, not all of them seemed really rewarding on how you got them, but.
It's like even the first kingdom where it's just like, oh, there's just one right there on top of that building, or then it's like, you go out into the desert and you just butt stomp some sand and just one pops up, and it's like, well, I don't know, it doesn't feel very rewarding.
Yeah. Which I agree with you completely on that one, for sure. Yeah.
And then, my other big thing with it, and I know I'm just kind of beating up on this game, but, I feel like everybody's just praised it.
Because it is quite a masterpiece for Nintendo to bring this out on the Switch. Like, I mean, they're heavy hitters, but it's also good to hear the devil's advocate, which I think everyone should do. Right, because we know that you love this game, but you are bringing some good points to the table.
Yeah, and the other thing is, man, I wish Nintendo would stop babying us. It's like they need to understand. It's like you have people in their 30s, their 40s that have been with you this whole time. It's like the game, at least in the first half, is super easy. You have forced motion controls, like all this stuff. It's like, I don't need you to show me how to do a move with like a little video. It's like, I don't want you to tell me to play with waggle controls. It's like that's why I really love Breath of the Wild, where it's just like that game was hard. It's like it didn't tell you what to do. It's just like, here's the world, just go.
See, I will say this. A couple things is since we've talked about it, I have beaten the game. Yeah. And at least the story mode. Right now I have like about 450 stars, or Power Moons. But here's the deal. Like, once you beat the game, a new mechanic opens up, and it kind of gives it a reason to go back and revisit worlds, and a whole set of Power Moons also open up on these passwords that you're at too, right? But there is and I won't say anything. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys specifically, and also for our viewers, but there is something that happens after you beat the main. First of all, the last part of it, you're just, they start throwing things that you never thought would be in a Mario game. And you're like, what is this? And then the game ends, and something happens, and like you get a new, I'll just say, world, which is a pretty obvious thing.
Like some new kingdoms open up and stuff. And
one of them, oh my God, it was as if, I don't want to say too much. It's just that every dream that you've ever had, it just came true. Nintendo was like, no, we hear you. Here you go. And I can't tell you what it is.
I'm looking forward to that, because I've heard whispers, and I'm like, nope, not gonna hit.
And here's the deal too. I think that when you guys beat the game, I think it'll be fair game. Like, if you haven't played the game, we're gonna talk some spoilers about this game because I want to talk about that part so bad. The only reason I'm containing is because you guys haven't talked about it. But once you guys beat it, I think it'll be a couple weeks from now, and then they'll, everyone will have ample time. I'm sure YouTube will have spoiled it for other people, so we're gonna give a spoiler kind of. We're gonna gush about that.
Spoiler cast kind of situation.
Exactly. But until
anyways,
then,
so
though,
I just wanted to kind of give some extra opinions on it. It's just like, man, it's like when I play that game, I'm like, man, I really want to just play Breath of the Wild. It's that's how I feel. And it's like even like the outfits and stuff. I wish it's like I was wearing that, the parka because I'm in the snow, and if I don't wear it, I'm dying.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, but I did the same thing too.
Yeah. It's just like
more appropriate.
It's just little things like that where I'm like, man, I just like. I think Breath of the Wild just kind of ruined that game for me a little bit. It's still a great game, but it's like every time I play, I'm like, man, I just want to play Breath of the Wild.
Well, I'm also curious too that at the end of the year we're gonna do a kind of like our best of for the year, and I'm curious to see because right now for the game of the year right now is being in Metacritic. It's 96. I believe it's 96 for Mario Odyssey Zelda, and 94 for Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, they're
Metacritic scores and they are the top 1 and 2 out of top 5 for the year.
Nintendo's killing it.
So I'm curious to see like what as a group here who we deem the number one game.
I got some cool opinions, and I'm gonna leave it for that. But I've been thinking about it a lot. Like my game of the year.
We'll be the judge about how cool they are. How about that?
They're cool.
Yeah, they're pretty low probably.
I think we'll probably all agree too.
Well, here's something that is super cool and that we can all agree is amazing. Recently, Nintendo put out a patch, an update for the Nintendo Switch, which is the 4.0, right? Update for 4.0. Now, Master Mew King, who was on Twitter, he reported this to The Verge, saying that he found a little tidbit that came with this patch that Nintendo did not talk about or release kind of any press on. Essentially, he went ahead and put in the dock the adapter for the GameCube controller that they made for the Wii U for the Super Smash Bros. Release. And he plugged dongle. They put it in the dock, and he plugged in the GameCube controller, and it sunk completely, and he was able to play Nintendo Switch games with it. So now we've been confirmed that the GameCube controller is compatible for the Switch. It works.
So
the only thing it's lacking is a ZL button. It has the ZR button.
Yeah. It also doesn't have the buttons on the
the plus and the minus.
Itself.
Right. It doesn't have the plus.
Like the L3, R3, like on the sticks. You can't.
Yeah, you can't push it.
And for right now, because I'm sure that they'll introduce a new patch or a way for you to guide yourself back to the home page via the Switch. But for now, if you're playing with the GameCube controller, you also have to have either some Joy-Cons or the Pro controller to be able to navigate back to the game. Otherwise, you have to turn off the system. So, but Nintendo hasn't released it yet, so those you can't really nitpick those things since they're not saying use the GameCube controller. It's just now we have the capability. But what does that mean for Switch?
That just means the GameCube controller will never die, and I'm so happy about it. The greatest controller ever made it just won't die, and I'm so happy. Like, God, I love my GameCube
It also
controller.
means that I think Smash is coming soon.
Because
with
that, or at the very least, GameCube backwards compatibility for like in their virtual console.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely.
Which needs to happen.
That's a big thing to look for 2018 for the Switch is to see what they're gonna, because they like this year was all about like the games and some of them, and also like some ports from the Wii U. But I think next year is gonna be like, all right, we got our core things down. Now it's about our internet like capabilities. What you're gonna get for $20 a year.
Oh, that's right, because they're gonna release that whole thing. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this is still in their 10th month of the Switch being released, and they still have a couple months to go before March, which marks the anniversary. So there's still time for them to pull out some crazy wicked things. And I mean, at the beginning of 2018, we also have Doom and Wolfenstein coming into it as well. So
and I have this feeling that on their anniversary they're gonna release a big game
or a new Switch bundle, which we're all gonna have to buy.
Yeah.
But it's super cool.
I don't know. I have this like weird feeling that they're gonna be like, hey, for our anniversary, here's Smash 4 for Switch, and it's just like, yay!
I will poop myself. I think that's beat you to it, sir.
I pooped myself 10 minutes ago.
That's just a thing I do. You said hi to me. I got really excited. I pooped myself.
Oh my!
Cool. Okay, someone said I used to go to the doctor, but I just say I'm excited. Anyways, that's a thing now. All right, so I mean, there's not really much else to talk about. That's pretty much all that there is to say about the compatibility for the GameCube controller on the Switch. It is exciting. It definitely is kind of foreshadowing some really hopefully cool things that come to Switch. I hope so, man. Don't say it 3 times. You're going to jinx it.
All right.
But we have to move on because we have two huge conventions that we have to talk about. And the first one is going to be BlizzCon, which was...
Dude.
We're going to roll through it. So BlizzCon 2017 happened. It happened in Anaheim, California on the 3rd and 4th of November, which is already passed by the time you guys are watching this. And it was actually the 11th BlizzCon. And they are slowly, gradually getting a larger and larger attendance. Last year alone, it was 27,000 plus.
I was there.
You were there.
I was there last year.
Wow. You didn't tell us that.
Oh, wait, no, I did know that.
Yeah, you did.
I did know that.
He just pooped himself.
There it goes. Poop myself.
Yeah, no, it's awesome though. BlizzCon is legitimately really, really cool. Like E3 is obviously bigger because there's much more.
Yeah.
But BlizzCon, like the way they set up everything for like Warcraft and StarCraft and Overwatch, just it's beautiful. And like some of the cosplays you see there, so good. Like
why didn't I go? Why did I not go? I completely forgot. Listen, if anyone cosplays as a Tracer, I need to know you, meet you. I'll take you out to dinner.
I was most impressed, but last year the Reinhardt cosplays were just
yeah. And the voice actors go too and everything.
But like,
as well.
and the thing is, last year at one point, the voice actor for Reinhardt, I forget his name, super nice guy. He was
Bill?
Bill Hart.
He was walking with like 4 Reinhardts, and they were like walking with him, surrounding him. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Bodyguards.
Basically.
He paid them.
Yeah,
They're crusaders, okay?
Yeah.
We found out that from the short that was released for Overwatch. So basically, before we talk about Overwatch, because there's a lot of news that goes with that, but it seems like Blizzard has really kind of upped their fan service recently.
Dude, they've been killing it with fan service, especially with like just through this BlizzCon alone. It's just like from, what they announced with like StarCraft 2 being free and
World of Warcraft, the
World
original.
of Warcraft, the
right,
legacy stuff.
exactly, yeah. I mean, like first of all, BlizzCon, besides being a convention for, it's just basically a celebration for all Blizzard games. So they have like their Hearthstone, their Forgotten, what is it?
Heroes of the Storm.
That's it. Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, and
Diablo.
Yeah. And Diablo, that's right. I didn't know you were
And technically Destiny 2 now, right?
No. They're just in conjunction with their PC part of it.
Like,
but maybe, who knows?
Games,
Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's basically what BlizzCon is, and yes, there was a whole plethora of and slew of announcements that they were definitely like listening to the fans and wanted to give back to the fans, along with a lot of esports tournaments. Apparently, the World Championships of Overwatch happened there as well,
so cool.
along with some, I believe, Hearthstone stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
No. Yeah. But, so, yeah, going through that. But, yes, what you had mentioned, absolutely. You said it was, what was it, StarCraft 2?
So, StarCraft 2, the Wings of Liberty, I think that's what it is, right, Nathan?
I thought it was just StarCraft 2, I thought.
Well,
sure.
So, Wings of Liberty, which is like the first part of, it's like their first
iteration.
Thing. Yeah. Because they had that, and then the Swarm, whatever the Swarm one was, and then I can't remember
the War.
That's
probably not what it is, but it should be.
Not.
I think it was Warforged.
It was Warforged.
Yeah, Swarm Warforged.
I can't remember the 2 expansion names, but
doesn't matter because guess what? It's free to play.
Yeah, it's free to play.
Free to play. Yeah. That's amazing because like that they only have 2 StarCrafts, not counting all their iterations and their expansion packs and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a huge game, and it was. Oh, it was only about like 7, 8, 9 years old at this point. StarCraft 2. No.
StarCraft 2.
7 years
old.
old.
It probably came 2007-ish.
You think so? I thought it was
maybe a little
10.
later.
Either way, it's not super old.
He was
2010.
2010.
Boom.
2010.
Fucking that's why I'm the host, dude.
Did
Shut
I-
your mouth. Stay on that couch.
Fact check this.
bitch. Yeah, but it's a huge game when it first came out, and now that it's online, free to play. I mean, like they're definitely gonna get a lot more fans back into.
Yeah, dude,
the
that's
website.
great, man.
StarCraft 64 was free to play. Just saying.
That's right. That is
I
right.
mean, just saying.
And then Zach also mentioned it too. The World of Warcraft legacy servers. They announced that to be back up, but essentially, like the first World of Warcraft that was released. Oh man, I don't even know the year.
2004,
Do you know
2005.
2004 sounds right.
It's around that time. I know that.
Yeah,
Sounds
I think
like
it was probably about 2004.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, they opened up the
I can
servers
fact check
again,
it.
basically for the fans to go back and play that game in its originality. And the funny thing I thought too is like you said, you
2004.
did.
Boom.
Ah.
Called it. That was me.
He's gonna take the credit for that one.
What?
It was me. I said it.
Agreed.
I
Yeah,
put
you
myself-
agreed, but I said it.
I was right by.
Well,
Association.
So now the players can go back and play that old game because there are actually servers specifically for the game now, which
Yeah.
I thought was funny because yes, it is super fan service. Like that's definitely like listening to fans and giving what they want, and it's complete juxtaposition to what EA is doing right now with Revive. which is a third-party company that was actually had kept open servers for the old Battlefield games, like Battlefield 2142, Battlefield 2, Battlefield Heroes of something else, because
Heroes
I
of
don't
the
care.
Storm.
But the thing is that, you know, a lot of these players, they get so good at a game that they don't want to move on to the next iteration, or they don't like it as much, and they want to stay rooted in their nostalgia, or essentially, or all their hard work. But EA said, look, Revive, fuck off. That was like in the press release. Fuck off, Revive.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Screw you guys, I'm
Yeah.
going home.
They made him, they asked, but it was more of like, do it or we're going to send a cease and desist, to close down the servers because they were infringing upon their intellectual property.
It's just mean. It's just like, dude, it's like, who's that harming?
It's just EA
I
sense.
know. They came back out and said, like, it's not the servers that we're worried about, it's the game, actual properties.
No.
It's the fans. The fans are happy. That's why you gotta shit on them.
Yeah.
So
EA just sucks.
Yeah, so it's great that Blizzard is actually coming out and saying, no, you want that? Here it is. There's your legacy content, or your legacy service for WoW.
Yeah, and it's, dude, it's just like Blizzard. I don't know how they get away with this, especially under Activision's umbrella now, but they're just like, here's free content, here's free content, here's free content, here's just like
free
fan
maps,
service
free
stuff.
characters.
It's like, oh, you want some skins? You want like a legacy server? Oh, you want some
StarCraft 2?
Like
take
here's
it.
free StarCraft.
It's awesome. Please take it.
Awesome.
By all means.
Yeah, it's just, and then obviously they set up these huge tournaments and like all that. I mean, Blizzard's just killing it with.
I think they might be sacrificing to some kind of elder god. I mean, there's no way that a company can be giving this much free content and not.
But I think they still do fine as far as making money and stuff. You know, it's just like you think about like we'll just take the one example of Overwatch, and they have over 20 million active users, and it's
not to
like
mention
but
the
sometimes
entire
they still have to
sports
wait
league.
2 minutes to get into a goddamn game. What is up with that?
Stop playing at 4 in the morning.
Fuck you.
That's
true.
Because you're not good.
They have a hard time finding bad players.
All right, so I brought it up. I just put myself out of sadness. That was weird.
But it's one of those things. It's like if you just like give fan service and let your fans know that you care, it's like, dude, those fans will give right back.
That's exactly
that's why you
how,
have like World of Warcraft is still just active and huge.
Yeah.
Even since 2004, what's that, 13 years?
13 years.
I mean,
13
it's
years.
just that.
Almost
I mean,
14.
even StarCraft, the first StarCraft, is still like a hugely popular game.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, it's.
I won't be surprised if they actually open up a legacy server for that too.
Well, they just came out with the HD version of StarCraft.
That's what I said. I'm not surprised. That's why I'm not putting myself. I'm not surprised.
Poop myself.
But no, I mean, they also have just these huge leagues as well. Like, you're not just offering to just regular fans who play this game, you know, just like any other sport. They can also watch these awesome tournaments at BlizzCon, and now have the American League to watch where they can have hometown teams. So it's just, I mean, they're doing everything right in terms of a company.
You actually got a retweet from one of the hometown teams.
Yeah, Philadelphia Fusion, baby. I can't wait to start watching it. I think preseason starts in January, if I read that correctly.
Cool.
But yeah, it's 8 teams, I think. 2 of them are in LA. But yeah, Philly.
Wait, do we have 2 in LA? I thought we had one here. It was the
There's
the
2 in LA.
Revenants.
There's the Valiant,
and
then the
Shock is in San Francisco. I remember that.
San Francisco Shock. But I forget. There's another LA one. I forget their name.
Lakers.
The Lakers.
Fuck you. Yeah, and that is pretty amazing too, and it's especially like that's how big the game is, right? They're making these world leagues. There's a bunch of celebrities we talked about on the show before that are putting in millions and millions of dollars into these
investing.
leagues.
It's huge.
They're
So it
doing
makes
it
sense,
right.
yeah.
I think that just companies, especially Activision, who owns Blizzard, should really just take a look at Blizzard's playbook and just be like, dude, they're doing it right. It's we need to follow in their footsteps. It's like, I think Nintendo needs to take a hard look at them. I think EA needs to. Activision needs to. It's just like, look at what they're doing for fans, and you know, they don't overcomplicate their games with this like pay to win nonsense.
Yeah.
They don't like they just give what the fans want.
But if anything, if you're at least you can either take a page out of the book from Blizzard or just don't do anything that EA does.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But what's also nice about Blizzard is like their games are. It's not necessarily like it's family friendly, but it kind of is. Like they're not like overly. Yeah, in Overwatch you shoot people with guns and stuff, but it's not like
violence. But
it is,
like,
but it's nothing.
Or maybe Diablo, where you're just fighting Satan himself.
Yeah,
yeah, super family friendly.
but it's like the way it's, but like
a Sunday afternoon.
But the way it all looks, it's it's pleasing to the eye, and it's nothing like visceral or oh my god, this is so intense. Like
even at the animated shorts, there's no blood.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, it's just all really good for the fan. It's just family friendly, man.
Go Blizzard, man.
Blizzard's awesome.
And now that we're talking about it, I didn't realize how big of a fan of Blizzard I was, but now I'm like a little upset that we didn't go to the BlizzCon. Damn it.
Dude, I've just like I think like in the last year or two, I've just I've loved Blizzard because of StarCraft. I've never been a Warcraft guy,
sure.
And or a Diablo guy, because I've never been a big PC guy, but I've always made time to play the StarCraft games. But just in the last year or two, I've grown to love Blizzard and Bethesda a lot. Like those two companies just are killing it.
Yeah,
man.
they do things right.
And I think that the partnership between Blizzard and Bungie, hopefully that does come to something, grow to something much better. But Bungie did do a lot of fan service. Like when they were actually doing the first 3 Halo games, they really did listen to their fans, and they made a really unique live experience, and their infrastructure for their online system was amazing. And now to have them partner up with Blizzard, who is obviously a forefront in the online multiplayer realm. I can't imagine if they went into into publishing or developing a game together, like what that could mean. It would be incredible, but hopefully that grows some fruits that we could tell to enjoy later.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of sad that Bungie doesn't own the rights to Halo, because I would love to see Blizzard take a crack at the Halo Wars games, because it's just they're so good with RTS.
It's not like Guilty
games,
Spark is doing anything bad with the Halo War games specifically. They're doing something bad with the Halo games.
I would
but
just
not
love
Halo
to see
Wars.
them. I would just love to see them take a crack at Halo Wars.
Yeah, because that's what it sounds like when 343 makes a Halo game.
Yeah, it's like
Man, one of these days we'll let our viewers know all the inside jokes I have on the show, but not today. That's a bonus round.
That should be a bonus round.
Right? Just okay, because that's always fun to explain a joke.
Yeah, really.
So you had to be there.
Yeah, that's how it always ends. So so that's what happened with Blizzard with their other stuff, with their Hearthstones. They had a little bit of a EA. They had esports competitions. They had all that good stuff. But now we got to talk about Overwatch, because that's what we specifically real love. Now,
love it.
They came out with a couple of different things for Overwatch. One of them being a whole new set of skins for a plethora of player characters, PCs, whatever. Characters, thank you.
PC computers.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
PCs.
They came out with skins. They came out with a new map, which was basically a theme park.
Well, they announced all this. They didn't come out with it.
Okay,
fine.
Just
laying it.
It'll be on the PTR
yeah,
show.
okay.
Yeah. Well, they're like, what? The skins are out? Oh my god.
Yeah. Be correct with your facts. Whatever. So yes, thank you though. Yes, they announced all these things. They announced that there are new skins for the Overwatch characters coming out. At least 10 of them. At least I could be.
I think 10.
Yeah,
I think 10-ish. Sounds about right.
10-ish.
Sounds like a good number.
They came out. They're announcing a map, which is basically a theme park filled with all of Blizzard's
It's just BlizzCon.
Dude,
it's BlizzCon.
Once again, all this is just fanfare, where it's just here's a map that's just all of
things you
Blizzard
love.
history, where you have this huge Protoss pylon just in the middle of the map, and just all this cool stuff that's interesting to see.
And all the skins are they're all Blizzard based from other games, Blizzard inspired.
Warcraft characters,
StarCraft characters,
and StarCraft characters. I mean, it's just super cool stuff.
Yeah.
Just that Widow skin alone, I'm like,
Widow.
yay!
I love Torbjorn's, man.
Dude, they're really cool. I think that we'll be posting some things, some of the skins that were released on our social media sites, so you guys can see it too. But another thing that came out as well that they announced, or that actually did come out, was the newest animated short, and what Jeff Kaplan, was the president, whatever.
He's one of the
the big wig of Overwatch team.
Yeah, just Papa
Jeffy
Jeff.
Cap.
Just Papa Jeff.
I thought it was Jeffy Cap.
No,
That's
Papa
what we called him
Jeff.
last time.
Yo, Jeffy Cap boy.
Yeah, Jeffy Kaplan. He basically announced that this is going to be season 2 of all the animated shorts for the Overwatch lore, essentially. So we got our first one, which was Reinhardt's tragic story. And it was beautiful.
Which, once again, it's another just free thing. It's
just
it's
enjoy this.
Yeah,
Put that in your face.
It's just a 15-minute animated short that we probably spent 9 months on that and spent all this money.
Totally
but
free.
here's it for free. It's Thank you.
And that's it.
Wow, dude, that was so nice.
so
I just
genuine.
pooped myself.
That's the title of this video. Anyways, just pooping ourselves on the Blizzard. Yeah, and they released that, and it was, I'm a huge fan. That's actually what got me into the Overwatch games themselves, with these animated shorts, because
It's so good.
even though the game itself does not have a campaign or any of that really gorgeous lore that they've created for the world, it's just that online multiplayer arena shooter. But you get all this other stuff, and it's like,
so
wow,
great.
it makes it seem that much more vast and epic.
And it's also what makes, I think it's a big reason why people love playing as certain characters and that game in general. Because like you're watching these stories or you read about the lore, and it's just like you feel more attached to these characters and who they are, because they're all so different. Like they're not these faceless people with just a gun. Like they each one of them is very significant in the Overwatch story and lore. It's awesome.
It is really cool. And another thing that they've also decided to announce, which is basically like the biggest news for Overwatch, is a new playable character.
Yeah,
We have
Moira.
Moira. That's right. We have Moira, who is a support class character, but
Finally.
she seems.
Jeez. We needed more.
I
There's
know.
like 6 right now, or 5 support characters.
Symmetra's not even a support. I don't consider her a support at all.
Yeah. What, you consider a support to be one that heals the team?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay,
It's
easily done. Well, here's the thing: like this character, Moira, is Moira. God, it's she's basically a mad scientist character for the team, and she actually
She's a geneticist for Talon.
okay, so you guys know the lore. Perfect. I was gonna say she definitely is on the same side as Reaper, and that's why they have a similar teleport thing. Anyways. But she basically, what she looks like to me is a amalgamation of everything that's great about Symmetra and everything that's great about Mercy.
Yeah,
and they just
with like a
combine
little
the two.
bit of
Zenny
Zenyatta
mixed
there,
in,
yeah,
a
a
little
little bit of
Sombra
Zenny.
mixed in, a little Reaper mixed
Everything
in.
that you guys like, every character is like, cherry pick this stuff.
What's weird is like the teleport thing kind of threw me off. Like I don't know how that fits into her character design, because like I get like, all right, Symmetra kind of lasery. You charge up a ball, it bounces around. It could weaken the enemy, and then you can throw a ball and heal your team. But then the teleport thing was like, oh, like kind of just I don't know how
she's
that.
a scientist, man. She's
I
developed all
guess
these different
I
gadgets.
don't know how
and
that
stuff.
factors into the geneticist thing, but
She
whatever.
just-
I'll
she
take
just
it.
puts her genetics over there.
Throw my
There it
genetics
is.
right over there and boom.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's still cool. I mean, and I thought it was funny that she kind of does that classic anime run with just her hands are just straight.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Naruto
the
run.
Naruto.
I was talking to a buddy the other day about that. It's like, oh, it's the Naruto run.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
tweeted that. It was like, that base. We all knew that kid in high school that just would run like that.
Yes, his name was Kevin. At least in my school. Shout out to Kevin. but yeah, so this character, so she has a couple different powers. Her main default power is essentially this beam that can either heal your team or can damage your foes. It's very much in the similar. The healing aspect looks like Mercy's beam to heal, and then her draining power, her attack, looks like Symmetra's laser.
Although I couldn't tell with the healing if it was like if it would lock on to your team.
I don't think it does.
I think it's just kind of like a spray that goes
Yes.
forward and you have to follow them around.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is going to be kind of difficult with some of the players, though.
She can shoot a ball that like.
Yeah, the ball thing, it kind of
that-
heals
yeah.
them. But
It heals 2 people at a time, and it can bounce off of walls, and it lasts for a significant amount of time as well. But if it goes into enemy territory, it can also drain them. The thing about that, though, is like on the trailer when they released it, she looked quite overpowered for a character. But I found out that the way that they're balancing it is that in order to heal your teammates, you have to do damage. So you have a regenerative skill of like getting your heal meter back up to use that on your team,
okay.
but it's very slow. It's very passive. So in order to get that back up quickly, you have to do some damage. Go back.
it's like charging your ult.
Exactly,
Okay.
but it's kind of continuous. So it's going to be a very interesting player to kind of get a hold of.
Yeah.
Not going to be like a
Looking
Zen who
forward
can
to
just
it.
keep throwing heal balls, or Mercy where you can just like ultimately, you could just keep a player tank just like healed the entire time if you really wanted to. So it's interesting in that. So she's going to definitely be like a attacking.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she's gonna be pretty
DPS
close
style.
to Zenyatta
Yeah,
as far
Zenny.
as like dishing out a lot of damage, but kind of topping people off on heals, and then you still have your main healer, which is like a Mercy.
And
or
her
something.
ult was just a Kamehameha blast.
It is,
Basically.
and it lasts about 8 seconds.
8 seconds?
About 8 seconds, and it's
Jeez.
about as powerful as Zarya's ultimate as well. So it's about around the same damage, and you can either again heal your team with that, or damage
Just blast
foes.
away.
And what people are starting to find out that the strategy is line up both.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
I
Get
mean,
behind your
you
team
could-
and shoot at the enemy.
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
all
it
in
would
one.
it would combo well with a Zarya ult or a Reinhardt Earthstrike or Reinhardt charge, like grab somebody.
Or just Reinhardt.
Or just Reinhardt.
Just
in
like,
general.
yeah, he's
Reinhardt.
Combines with Reinhardt.
Yeah, just Reinhardt in general.
Yeah. He's
Honestly,
just standing there and
yeah.
just like, combine.
It's gonna be
Genetics.
it's gonna be a really interesting character.
Genetics.
The genetics. That's all it is. She's just throwing her genetic
Throwing my
genes at
genetics.
people.
Here's
It's
some
like, ew,
genes.
get away.
Throwing my jeans.
Oh, you just got jeans on me. Get out of here.
Those are last season. Dumb joke. But yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting character once it's finally released and when we get to play her. I'm really looking forward to playing Moira.
Moira. It's
I'm
like,
looking forward to being able to pronounce her name correctly.
yes.
It's gonna take some
Tell her
time.
That's gonna be
Mo.
huge.
I just got your names right, so like
Yeah.
that took so long.
I'm just glad it's a support character. Like it's been.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
gonna
it's
be
been
nice.
ignored for so long. Like
we need some more support.
yeah, like it's terrible. Like they
Because the
did,
last couple have been DPS, right?
Yeah, Doomfist, Sombra, but Orisa is tank, but still, like you're just worrying about damage. Like we need more healers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
just, like,
because nerf.
just more variety. It, like right now, like the meta is just like a Mercy with something else. So
Yeah.
it's just like you got Mercy and Zen, Mercy, Ana, Mercy.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Ana needs a buff so badly.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
pretty
he-
lame.
she's
She's pretty lame.
Yeah, they said that she's gonna get one. Also,
Oh, neat.
one other thing about Papa Jeff and Overwatch, he made a really funny joke that I also tweeted
So proud.
about like getting on the payload, and he's like, "Hold on, I know none of you have heard of that, but if you look at the Zenyatta main to your left and follow them, they'll be on the payload. So just remember, guys, to be on the payload." It was really funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the dude's hilarious. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, he
Old
seems
Jeffy
to be.
boy.
He really cares about the fans too, and he cares about the whole,
Yeah.
keeping the toxicity out of Overwatch and all that
Mhm.
stuff too.
Yeah,
so
they're active on the forums. They're active on Reddit. Like
Everything.
they
Just
engage.
Go Blizzard, man.
I know, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
They're
Go
so awesome.
Blizzard.
Go America.
So we'll see what happens. The last thing I want to talk about Moira is
There you go.
her. She has two skins right now that have a concept art, but one of them looks very much like a Symmetra skin with that kind of like weird technology kind of like plastered on her body, and the other one is fucking Ziggy Stardust for David Bowie. Like it's
Yeah.
just like it looks awesome.
Nice,
So
nice.
super. It's called glam. It's like glam rock
Makes
kind of
sense.
era. So.
Nice.
Can't wait to get that skin. Hopefully, I will not cave in and pay for it, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's basically BlizzCon in a nutshell, in a quick nutshell, because now we
Yeah.
have to move on to an even bigger fucking nut. So like,
To the bigger nut.
yeah, I know it's gross. I put myself a little bit like I'm terrified. So Paris Games Week has happened.
Yep.
It's the 7th one
In Germany.
in yes in Paris, Germany,
Japan.
Paris, Tennessee, actually.
Oh, okay.
I know, weird. Yeah, the Paris Games Week has happened. It actually went through November 1st to the 5th, and I mean, last year the attendance in 2016 was 310,000 people
Jeez.
plus. That's just an approximation, so I'm sure it was
This year
even
was
more
eight.
this year. Huh?
8 people.
It was 8 people exactly. I mean, Paris
in my
Tennessee
backyard.
sucks, so I mean, like, sorry if anyone's watching from Paris, Tennessee, just get out.
Yeah, just 8 people in Paris, Tennessee. You're like, where are them games at?
There it is. The stereotype is strong.
Yeah.
Where are them games?
I'm from Tennessee, by the way, if anyone didn't know that.
Don't worry, I can make the joke. I'm from Virginia.
That's right.
Basically the same dumb people.
Yeah, but they don't
I'm just
have
kidding.
vinegar-based barbecue sauce.
I know. They're messing up.
The inside jokes.
Guys, sorry. Okay, anyway, so yes, Paris Game Week's happened, and man, there's so many things we have to talk about.
We can't talk about it all.
We really can't. We have such limited time, but we're going to try to get through as much as we possibly can. I think we're going to leave... no, we have to start with this. Last of Us 2 got a trailer, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sweating.
that
I'm
what
so
we're starting
excited.
with?
I
Us
think
Because
so.
I feel like I have a lot to say about it.
Well, then say it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
we start with
I think that one's... Because if
Yeah.
you have a lot to say, we don't want to rush through it, so just let's go ahead and say our
Let's
piece.
do it.
Because
So
whatever you
anybody
say
wanna
is going to be
start?
wrong, I think.
Oh, go
Because
ahead.
I
I know
feel like I'm going to
you're
be the devil's
itching.
advocate again.
Wait, you saying
Go
it looks
for it.
bad?
Well,
Well, I'm
let's
the
hear it
devil's
out.
advocate. Well, you go.
No, spit it out. I want to hear your
Okay,
stupid
executive
reasoning.
decision.
Why are you so
Fucking
angry?
Go for it.
Don't poke me.
Well, I'm the
How dare
host. I
you.
want to hear you
Okay.
guys say the goddamn
Okay.
thing. Stop being gentlemen.
So, all right. So I've had some time to reflect on this, just like Mario Odyssey, and I've been thinking about it, and I've listened to a lot of other people's kind of thoughts and problems with the trailer too. I'm trying not to let all that rub off on me,
Sure.
and have my own opinion.
Yeah, go.
Unlike a lot of people in this
Say
world
it, man.
nowadays. I'm getting there. Okay. So the trailer was cool. Trailer was fine.
God, what an undermining opinion. Okay,
It's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
It's all right. It's fine.
But I think it kind of missed the mark of what Overwatch. Oh my God, we're
I
still on
know,
Overwatch.
it's on the
Well,
brain.
if you're
wait,
comparing it to that,
so-
that's,
It's pretty different.
yeah.
no, this isn't Overwatch.
Apples and pears. Fuck you.
Where's May? But I think it just missed the mark of what Last of Us is. It's like, when I think about Last of Us, really the last thing I think about is like kind of those just the violent scenes, and that one's just kind of like, out of context, there's just not a lot there. It's just kind of a scene from this game that is like we don't know any of these characters, we don't know what's going
wrong.
on.
I'm sorry, but
No, it's fine. But it's I mean that's the thing. People can have different opinions.
This is true.
No.
Except for you guys. I'm right.
Okay.
But I think it's just like when I think about The Last of Us, I think about like the characters and just the dialogue and these scenes that are just so good. And no.
But this one wasn't.
Yeah,
Like, it
that is
wasn't good.
exactly what this trailer was. To give anyone who hasn't seen the trailer, essentially it is a scene that we don't know where in the game it happens, but we see this woman being dragged by two nameless, kind of cultist-looking people, or obviously a part of some kind of religious sect. Yeah. Who brings this woman to be strung up and hung along with other bodies that are hung in trees.
Yeah. Hanged.
Hanged? It is hanged.
It's
It is
hanged.
hanged. Sorry. But to be hanged and then brought another woman into the fray as this person is about to be hanged, and ask where are the other apostates, which is essentially a religious person who is
I've never heard that word
bad
before.
that I did. Yeah, renounces religion. I couldn't think of the other
There
word.
you go.
A person who renounces religion, and also taking a knife to the person that she had just strung up to be hanged and saying, "You've nested with sin." So it's coming from a very religious standpoint, and that is essentially a scene. Some craziness happens.
Yeah.
Characters escape. Others die. It's insane.
Someone got shot with an
Yeah,
arrow.
it's just it's one of those things. Like I'm trying to think about this as like a person that maybe has never played The Last of Us, and like maybe this is like the first thing you're really seeing, and it's like to draw in like a new audience of people. It's just like, well, who are these people and why do I care and what's going on, kind of thing. And it's just I don't know. I
couldn't agree with or disagree with you more.
I just like I said, the trailer was fine, but I don't think I even needed to see that. It's like I would have much rather have seen like even 10, 15 seconds of gameplay with Ellie doing something, or like
But that's the most amazing thing is that Ellie and Joel, the main characters from The Last of Us, were nowhere in this trailer. And I thought that was really strong because we already saw in the first trailer that Ellie is grown up. She has a little bit of scars from the last game, and she's got a little bit of vengeance and vendetta. Exactly.
She's a little
got
angry.
tat.
She's got
she
that
can play
tat.
the guitar.
Yeah.
She's a well-rounded woman now. And Joel is still around, at least. He's definitely still
as far
around.
as we know.
As far as we know, people think that he's a Jedi ghost or whatever. I don't think
A Force ghost?
Yeah, a Force ghost, yeah.
That's not The Last of Us.
No. But they're not present, and there are no characters that are recognizable from the first game in this trailer, and I think that's what makes this trailer so enticing. It's a huge mystery. It's basically like you are getting such a small glimpse of what the world now is, and however many years later from The Last of Us, a couple, because Ellie's quite grown up now.
at least.
Yeah, I think it's 3 years.
3? Yeah.
I think so.
At least. So the world has continued to progress, even though that this devastating apocalypse has basically hit, this disease has hit the world. And now we're starting to see religious fanatics kind of spur from that.
Yeah,
we
cultists and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had Fireflies, which were the rebellion of the government from the last game. And now we have this unnamed faction, which I think, and like, even though it doesn't outright give a lot of exposition as to what's going to happen in the game, but through their dialogue and through the characters, how they interact with each other, and through the mystery of like this event itself, it makes you ask a lot of questions, and you start to like realize from the context, like for the contextual things that you're watching, is like, wow, there's a lot going on in this game. This is a lot that this game has to say, and I think that it's going to be an amazing storyline.
Dude, I bet. And that's like, I think just taken out of context, it's just like I said, the trailer was fine, but it's like, man, that seems like a scene I just would have rather have seen while playing the game. And while
fair point.
Within the game,
it is a bit random, like out of left field. Like, who are these people? Where are the clickers?
Yeah, and it's just like,
and then they show up. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Whoever this woman is that was being hanged ends up living in that scene. While it's like taken out of the game, it's like you might not know. Like you could have been, that could be the playable character in the game. You don't know.
Sure.
And it could have, done something like, oh, shoot, is she gonna die? Am I gonna start playing as somebody else? Like, who knows? But now they've kind of taken that out.
That
of the game.
might be the beginning of the game too.
Yeah, it could be.
So
It
like
might be how
they might have
A lot of people are thinking that might be Ellie's mom, and that's like a kind of a past
Holy crap! I didn't even think about that. Oh my
Diesel.
god,
Man, Ellie's mom's been doing some pull-ups.
dude, she's badass. She's like
know.
Sarah Connor in this.
I know,
fucking
she's
thing.
fucking-
It's awesome.
She's
Diesel.
just doing curls with clickers.
With clickers.
Clickers
Whoa.
dead corpses.
No, they're alive, just freaking out. She's like, I don't care, whatever.
Holding them by the necks, just like,
Yeah. No, by the jaws. They can't bite.
Go
like,
ahead,
right in the middle.
try.
Anyway, anyways, I mean, I have all faith in Naughty Dog. I do think that like, yes, I would have liked to see that in the game. Because, like, we've been treated to these trailers in the past where these cinematics don't happen. This one looks like it clearly does. But it definitely, like, gave a nice polish and a little sneak peek as how it's going to look when we play everything. And a little bit of insight to what the story's going to be this time around. Because it was really up in the air for a while. Yeah. So...
But it just seems like something, like I love their last trailer so much. It was just like Ellie playing the guitar and stuff. And it's just like that artistic touch that Naughty Dog, I was about to say Blizzard, that Naughty Dog puts like in their games and in their trailers. And it's just like I loved that last trailer. And this one, it's just like, this feels like a trailer that anybody would have put out. This seems like some
that way.
You know.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to show the world has grown. It's progressed.
I think that's kind of what they were trying to say. Is like here's all new characters. It'd be like
and you know what's interesting is that that trailer was, besides those two dudes, it was all females. It was all female led.
Yeah, what is that?
So I think it's following the
mean?
trend of like 2017, just like respect women, just like.
Well, it's like that, and it's also like, hey, they also can be fucking badass too.
Oh, of course.
Like,
so that might be another thing. What they're trying to market towards a wider audience. Because I mean, look at these badass women that are just one's shooting an arrow at this fucker, one grabs a hammer and beats the shit out of somebody, and then the huskiest chick in the world, man. She's so strong.
She gives Zarya.
That's not the right word.
She is though.
No, but husky is like kind of chubby or kind of like thick. That's what husky is.
No, dude.
Husky is kind of stocky. That's like this. I would say she's lean. She's lean as shit.
I mean, she's
lean and mean, man.
Lean and mean and killing people with her.
Either way,
she cracked that. No, I'm just kidding.
She like crushed that chick between her legs.
Guys, just watch the thing. A lot of people are actually having the kind of this little bit of an argument about like, is the new trailer too violent? Is Last of Us 2 gonna be too violent? I'm like, what? Shut up.
Did you watch the first game?
Yeah, the first game is violent, and it's also about a post-apocalyptic world, and it's supposed to be dark, post-apocalyptic world. Ugh. Anyways, guys,
it's not a bright, happy game.
It's not, but it looks amazing, and I can't wait to see what happens. There is, as of yet, no release date, but God, I'm so excited.
It's gonna be good.
Here's the deal, guys. We don't have any time, so we're gonna blow through some things. The rest of Paris Game Week, we have. I'm gonna go through some smaller game titles.
I'll tell you if it's good or not.
Right. Yeah. And then we're gonna talk about. We're gonna end it off with Sucker Punch's new game. So we have Loco Roco 2, which is like a game back in like the PSP era, coming with a sequel. So that looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be good.
They have a lot of PSVR games that are coming out, and a new thing called the PS Link, which is an interactive way that you can actually play a game from a PS4 with your smartphone.
There's been a couple games like that.
With your smartphone. Oh, nice. I did not know that.
Yeah, there was one a couple months ago that was. I think it's still free too. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Is it also live action?
No, this is like a party game that you could play. And it's like
I know
everybody
what you're talking about.
Well, this
Jackbox?
No, not Jackbox.
You don't know Jack is not what he's talking about.
No,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, it's like a little party game, and everybody
a bunch of mini games, use your
questions
phone,
on their phones.
Gotcha. Well, apparently the one that they released an announcement trailer essentially, or a preview trailer, was for a game called Erica, and it's a point-and-click adventure, kind of choose-your-own adventure situation. Yeah. And a lot of the mini games have to do with like a touch screen where you like either swipe, like erase fog from me, or
it's live action, right?
It is live action.
Interesting.
Didn't recognize any of the actors in it, but an interesting take on a video game. So I'm really curious to see how that plays out.
And like you've said before, blending the world of cinema and video games.
Very true. Very true. I mean, like, David Cage did headway with that, and also Naughty Dog is doing a lot of things with that as well. But like now we're starting to get into like very blurred lines with those two mediums. So I'm excited to see what happens with that, and I'm also skeptical. I mean, we are going to be here with a magnifying glass seeing how those two things merge. But moving on, we also have Guacamelee 2, which you're pretty excited about. Which is
I don't know how you guys have not played that game, especially you. Come on.
I've watched so much gameplay, I just never played it. I'll be fine with that.
Okay,
it looks
thanks.
Awesome.
I guess I'm not invited.
No, it's us.
Fine.
Get good first.
Get good.
Fuck off. I placed in Overwatch. You didn't do shit.
Whoa!
Silent!
I mean, I can tell you the reasoning why. Like, fucking.
Yeah, we can all give excuses.
I mean, I'll tell you. Easy. It's hard to place when you do. It's always 5-on-6. It's really hard to place.
That's all the place when you suck ass. Anyways, going on. So Guacamelee 2, give us a little bit of a backstory.
So I mean, Guacamelee. I mean, it's like a side-scrolling beat-'em-up game where you're playing as
luchadors. Luchadors.
Yeah. So it's you're playing as a luchador. And you're just going around suplexing dudes and doing sweet wrestling moves. Man, just the first one was so good. Like the music, the art style. It
looks beautiful. And the music, everything in this trailer looks really gorgeous.
The first game was so good. Like Drinkbox is just, they're awesome. And so Dude,
That's
I can't wait for
developers,
it.
I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, I'm just saying words.
Drink box and poop jam. I don't know
Yeah.
why poop is such a
And
prevalent
poopy
thing.
pants.
Poopy pants.
So
God, I
yeah,
need to
so
grow up from being 12.
I'm so happy for that announcement. I am definitely looking forward to Guacamelee.
It looks great. I mean, the trailer looked like a lot of fun. It also looked like it had like a little bit of game mechanics, kind of borrowed or passed over from Ori and the Blind Forest. Like the, latching onto this like circle in the middle of the screen and then like kind of like launching yourself into a direction that you have to choose is very much like Ori and the Blind Forest kind of knows that. So looking forward to that.
Yeah,
It looks really cool.
play the first one.
I will. You have it?
Yeah.
Can I play with you?
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
I'll allow it.
Shadow of the Colossus is getting another remastered for PS4 Pro. The trailer looks gorgeous, but you had some news about that.
So I've heard just through some of the other from the news sites and stuff that I check out. Some people previewing it said the controls are very much like, and the camera. Basically, the things they should have remastered, it seems to be the same issues. Where it's
Blue Point and Japan Studios, right? Studio Japan. Mm-hmm. They have a problem with camera and controls. It seems like on most of their games.
Yeah.
But for me, it works. Like it feel like, even though it is a little bit wonky, like it kind of lends itself to the game. But I'm sure that it's been years.
Yeah.
They could.
So I mean, hopefully they're gonna have like, and I heard like there might be the kind of the original controls and stuff like that, and then like a new version of the controls as well. But it wasn't
Motion
at the
controls.
Yeah, you just throw your Wiimote
Yeah.
in the trash and get your PS4 controller.
Throw your
No.
nunchucks at the TV.
But so that seems to be the issue. But I mean, the game looks gorgeous. Like it's
it really the graphical update looks.
Yeah, it's like I'm looking forward to playing through that game again.
I know, me too. I can't get enough of that.
They had a good setup at E3 too. Remember that, like at E3?
You actually had to climb a Colossus.
Yeah.
To the top
Yeah,
of
it was
the
pretty
What's
crazy.
up there?
It was pretty crazy.
people falling.
Your camera's just
It was
stuck.
awesome.
Like I can't.
It was great.
And then you move and you go. So that's happening. I'm really excited for that. That actually has a release date. That's February 6th. A lot of PSVR games. It looks like at the very either the beginning or the middle of 2018 is going to be a huge. No, at the end of 2018, there is for sure going to be a large library of PSVR games. Who says they're going to be good or not? There's going to be a large one, and I'm getting this close, man. This close.
It's showing you that it's growing, and I think it's continually
Black
selling
Friday.
pretty well. I think.
Black Friday is not a bad idea. Yeah, drink box.
Drink box.
Black
Cookies.
Friday.
Santa.
Sammy sandwiches.
Poop
There's also another game called Concrete Genie where you play as
Chalk Zone.
Huh?
Chalk
You
Zone.
play Chalk Zone. If anyone
Look
gets
just
that
like Chalk
Nickelodeon
Zone.
reference from the early
That
2000s.
the TV show Chalk Zone?
I do.
You ever
I
heard
used to watch it.
You never heard Chalk Zone?
I played Comic Zone.
No,
Game's
dude.
dope.
It's not a game. It
Cartoon.
was a cartoon.
Anyways, Concrete Genie's about you play as a teenage boy who is, often the victim of bullying, and he decides to kind of escape from that.
What a nerd.
Dude, yeah, let's keep advocating that. He likes to doodle in his notebook like these really fantastical creatures and whatnot, and he ends up stumbling upon this paintbrush that looks like a mix between a broom and the end of a fox's tail. And he actually uses that to paint on the city walls. You can go through this, like, I don't know, whatever city this kind of looks like a Philadelphia kind of city. And he's painting on...
You ever been there?
It looks like Philly. I see pictures.
It just looks like a city.
I mean, I heard how you talk about it. It doesn't look that impressive. Anyways,
I never said it was.
There's just pretzels and cheesesteaks everywhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's just literally.
A couple of Amish people walking by.
God damn it, guys! How to stay on topic.
go.
So essentially, this guy takes this newfound paintbrush essentially, and can basically paint up the entirety of any wall that he finds with these fantastical creatures that he used to draw into his notebook, and they actually help him unlock new areas of the map. And it's the art style is beautiful.
It's really nice.
The way that they do these doodles on the sides of the streets, and like it looks like from the trailer, paint the entire town, and I give these like beautiful neon lights with your colors and everything. I don't really know much else about the game details in that, but it looks gorgeous.
The answer to bullying is graffiti, clearly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just
So we got
the end of that
Banksy's.
game, you get arrested though.
It's not pretty.
Kid, this is just illegal. Like,
This is also life. Not everything works out the way you want to. As your monster, and the monster on their thing, like on the wall.
Shut up. And they just like spray it off.
God. Concrete Genie coming out tomorrow.
Oh, right.
That doesn't have a
Oh,
release
it's
date
so
as of
funny.
yet, but that looks like another great game.
It looks interesting.
It does.
Guys, there's so many games that we can't talk about.
they
But the
look
last
so
one that
good.
we have to mention
Yeah,
before
let's
we
do it.
end the
Yeah,
show
let's do it.
is Ghost. of Tsushima.
Ghost of Sushi.
It goes to sushi.
Yeah, I don't know whose was more offensive. My try to be Japanese accent, or you guys' complete disregard of language.
Tsushima.
Shoshishima.
Tsushima.
There it is.
Right?
We apologize in advance.
Tsushima?
Tsushima, yeah.
Tsushima,
That's it.
yeah.
It's a
It's
city
not
in Japan.
offensive. That's what it is.
No, you said sushi.
I know at first.
what I'm talking
that
about.
was a joke.
Anyways, yes, it's a new Sucker Punch game. Now, Sucker Punch is the developers that are well known for their Sly Cooper series, which
Infamous.
is awesome. And Infamous, yes. They
Yeah.
did all the iterations of Infamous, the DLC, the first, the second one, the second son, all that good stuff. And now they're coming back with an open world game set in feudal Japan in the year 1274. When the Mongol Empire is now starting to invade Japan, what is left to do?
Jerks.
I know, what a bunch of jerks. Always trying to invade and rape and pillage. No one wants that. In
So
Japan.
annoying.
I know. So you know what happens? The character, the samurai, decides that he's going to fight whatever he can. I don't know why I went to Spanish accent.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, why not? We're Scottish. Scottish samurai comes up to fight for the Japan's freedom in any way he can. And it actually might lead to unconventional means. He might have to break his code to do so.
Uh-oh.
Now, the trailer
samurai.
itself looks gorgeous. We already know
yeah.
that that from their Infamous games that they can do open world very well.
Yeah. I feel like this will be like a third-person, open world-ish.
Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
If this is The Witcher in
Action
feudal
game.
Japan, I'm gonna
Third
freak
person
out.
feudal Japan with magic sword. Hopefully, that'd be badass.
Hopefully.
I don't think there's gonna be anything magical in this.
I
There's
hope
gonna be a
so.
guy who's an
No, I
archer,
hope
and there's gonna be a
not.
brother
I
who's
mean,
a
like-
ninja, who's a cyber ninja,
But I
and they
mean-
have like a feud.
But see, the
They didn't
problem,
get the
like,
joke.
anytime you even get any type of like feudal Japan kind of thing, they always add that kind of stuff in it. Like,
'Cause it's badass.
like Neo, right? And it wasn't the game from earlier
Yeah.
this year.
Or
and
Jade
it's like-
Empire was all about magic
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
just like dude, give me just like just like something like Red Dead or something where it's just like there's no magic in there.
I'm actually in
it's
complete
like-
agreement with him.
Yeah.
Completely
But I mean,
agree.
have
Give
you
me-
played
give me
like a
something
game like
that-
Onimusha?
Yeah, but we
It's
have
just-
those games.
I
Yeah, we
know,
have.
but
already
it's-
have those
Give me
games.
something different.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Give me something different.
is fun.
It's fun.
Give me something.
I'm not trying to shit on your joy. I'm just saying.
It's fun.
You may like this better.
Maybe.
And
We'll see.
there's not any indication there's not magic in the game, but from the trailers, it looks like a very gritty take on feudal Japan with just the samurai, with sword play. With
Wasn't his sword
shurikens.
glowing though?
Or
was
no,
that
it
just
was
the
on
lightning?
fire because the entire backdrop of the city was burning down to the ground, and then shadows came from the ashes, and he became a ninja, and it was awesome. Watch the trailer.
I feel like that's not right.
It is. I watched it. We watched it together. You were asleep. No, but that's so. I mean, that's pretty much all the details are about that game. There's
Yeah.
not a release date yet. The trailer though looks gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah,
it
it's
really
really cool.
shows off the atmosphere and the landscapes that you can traverse, and it looks like we get a little bit of a glimpse of the enemy itself, kind of interrogating the main character.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty
I
badass.
can't wait. Like there's just not enough games in that era.
It's true.
And people have been like wanting like an Assassin's Creed in that era, and I'm glad it's this and not
Yeah.
Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed. Like I
Yeah.
know people love Assassin's Creed. I'm not a big Assassin's
Same.
Creed guy.
Well, apparently
But
this
I
one's
like variety, not repetitious gameplay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah.
just like, and
That's-
I like the Infamous games. I'm not like crazy in love with them,
I've never
but
played them.
like,
really.
No.
Second one's really fun.
yeah,
Isn't
I mean,
it play
they're-
like Spider-Man 2? For the Xbox?
is it like that?
Doesn't it play
What
like
do you
that a
mean?
little
Well,
bit?
it's like an open world
Open
sandbox superhero game.
But like
where-
the way that he traverses the town is kind of like
Yeah.
the way it's played. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
a little
doesn't
bit.
shoot.
I'm
He doesn't
making an
shoot
assumption.
webs.
Well, I know that.
lightning webs, maybe.
I mean, he can
Lightning
like
webs.
grind on the power cables though, like
Yeah.
power lines.
He can
That's
do some
really
cool
cool.
stuff. I mean, there's
And you
definitely
guys like the games though?
yeah, they're good games.
Yeah, they're
like
fun.
I have like a couple complaints about them, but overall, it's like they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just want like a good open world third person kind of game to kind of just run around and
Wreak havoc.
and just get crazy for like a week or two. Those are great games.
Yeah.
So
Plus, you can take two
it's-
paths. Like you can choose to do good or choose to do bad, which
Cool.
could make you infamous. But that's where the names comes from.
I
yeah,
like
it's
the
really
ones for
fun.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, this game company has definitely delivered before. I mean, like I love their Sly Cooper series back when the PS2 era. I actually haven't played the new one for the PS3 that came out. Was it PS4? I don't know. They did a remaster collection. Anyways, I didn't play that one,
Yeah.
but I definitely have faith in them with that. I heard a lot of great things about Infamous, and the trailer looks gorgeous for this game. And it's exactly what I think the game industry needs right now, because you're right. There are no games that are set in this style, and if there are, they're ones that are kind of like really leaning towards the mythology and not the. Because I mean, like, okay, how many times are we gonna play like medieval games and like get the actual medieval experience, right? Why do we gotta, put in the mythology in Japan and their feudal system when we can have it's the same thing? It's just
Because
That's
it's fun.
it is fun, and there are games that have medieval things which have magic elements too. But come on.
Yeah, it's like I love kind of either feudal Japan or medieval kind of stuff. It's like with sword combat and have it a little more realistic. And like I really liked For Honor when I played it, and just because it was a little more grounded, despite it was like, you know, it's Vikings versus samurai versus, but it's just like it's cool to kind of play it like a slightly more kind of grounded game as far as like combat and stuff like that goes.
It's gritty.
It's like give me something like that, but as like a single player game in this big open world. I can just run around Japan and
Japan
and just kill some Mongols, you know, just show them what's
Kill
up.
some Mongols.
Kill some Mongols.
Stab some people.
Some of them Mongolians, you got to show them what's up.
Well, I mean, hey, you gotta stop someone from raping and pillaging. It might as well, you know, be
Might
you.
as well be
Gotta
the
give
Mongols.
them a good little stabbing.
Okay.
That's it right there. Done.
Yeah. So I mean, again, not much more details besides that. We'll definitely keep you in the know from whenever we find out more things about it as well, because these are games that we're all really excited to see, and I know we breezed through a lot of what happened in Paris
So
Games
much.
Week.
There's way too much going on this week.
We might gonna do a little bit more research, and we might talk about it next week. Any of these games that like we just feel
In
need
depth.
to really go back and
down
go in
with
depth
that.
with. So, and I also think too, just to kind of give our patrons a little bit of a little insight, I want to talk about the nature of open world games and how they may or may not be,
That'd be good.
ruining video games itself.
Sure.
I'm curious to see what you guys think about that, but I have some opinions and we want to talk about it, but we can't do it here because there's not enough time.
I like Breath of the Wild.
I know. Yeah, there's our good ones, there's our bad ones, and there's ones that don't need the open world. So anyways, here it is, guys. This is the end of the show. But we're already talking about the next one, so we have to have you guys come back and watch that shit, because who are we making this for if not you, right?
I make it for me.
I make it, yeah.
I make it for you guys. I appreciate you guys'
Loser.
participation here. Whatever.
Nerd. You paint on some walls.
Beat the shit out of me.
Go paint walls, loser.
And I get taken away by the cast. Like, how is this supposed to be a thing? Guys, Jesus Christ, we got to end the show. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate everyone who keeps coming back, and we appreciate anyone new viewers who are there too. We see ya. Thank you so much. We'd like to send a special thank you to DJ CUTMAN for his amazing chiptune music that opens up this show and gives it a nice good old bang. You know, I like it.
Bang, bang.
Bang,
Bang.
bang, boom, a ram. Slam, bam, thank you, ma'am. You can go ahead and see more of his stuff at either his, not Groove Shark. Come on, SoundCloud. You can always see his SoundCloud page
Or
on his
his
actual
Patreon.
Yeah, yeah, you can go see it on his
Cookie.
Shut up! You can see it on his website at djcutman.com. You can also follow more of the things that we talk about and all the articles that bring up and all of Javier's tweets at our Twitter and our Instagram accounts, which are at GoMultiPlayered. You can also follow us on our personal pages, which mine for Instagram is at Guillermo_Dorado, and for Twitter you can follow me at Masdorado. Zach?
At ZachMatzGanis, ZACKMATZGANIS. Boom.
God, you're getting so quicker. So much quicker.
So fast that no one's going to be able to hear.
So fast and furious. Okay.
At Multiplayer Hub on Twitter, and I tweet a lot of stuff on the Go Multiplayer on Twitter, and yeah, I've been tweeting stuff for Philadelphia Fusion, thinking it's me, but it's actually all of us tweeting it. So you're all fans of Philadelphia Fusion.
All of us are fans. Philadelphia.
That's right. It's the best.
You can also follow our two amazing camera guys who are also going to have their show soon, talking about a lot of the Xbox content and PC content that we are not privy to. Because so we have
Because Halo sucks.
Zalo.
Halo.
Oh,
I said
that-
cause Halo sucks.
Because Zalo sucks.
I might get an Xbox One.
I was a defender of that game. Anyways, you can follow our PC resident gamer, who is Nathan Redfern, or
Field.
how we like to call him, Nathan Redfield, at Multiplayer Nath on Twitter. And you can also follow our resident Xbox player, Mick Wood, at Twitter, or on Twitter and on Instagram at MickToTheWood. I mean, I think that's about it. Guys, again, we have a Patreon page. You should check that out because we love you and you help us make the show bigger and better than all it can be. But until then, guys, we will see you next week. So keep on grinding, and we'll see you at the respawn.
Later.
I poop myself. And we love you.
I poop myself.
On behalf of Multiplayer, Mario would like to send a special thank you to Jaden Lawrence, Arturo Mendera, Mercedan Kroll Pitaru, and Mario Dorado. Thank you so much for watching.